can start anytime that you're ready.
Okay, so when it comes to God, we are concerned, well, first of all, we are talking about the Christian God. And when it comes to the Christian God, we are concerned with two of his omni properties, one of them being his omniscience and the other being his omnipotence. Omniscience just means that he's all knowing, also entailing that he has perfect foreknowledge. His omnipotence just means that he's all powerful, he controls everything around us. Um, let's start with the easier one, his omnipotence. He's able to control things. And in the Bible, he was able to harden the Pharaoh's heart, for example. Hardening the Pharaoh's heart limited his freedom of choice, for example. That is one of the reasons why I believe that God can limit freedom, the existence of God limits freedom of choice. The other one being his omniscience, which means that he's able to foresee with 100% certainty of what's going to happen, including your choices. Um, we see, for example, Jesus predicting Peter denying him 3 times. And this essentially did happen, which also limited his freedom of choice because he had a 0% probability of choosing otherwise. So just to make it clear, for example, when it comes to freedom of choice, you have to have at least two options that you can choose from, and both of those options have to have a non-zero probability of being actualized. When it comes to omniscience, or at least perfect foreknowledge, that means there's 100% certainty that one of those options are actualized, which means that the alternate option would be a 0% chance of occurring. That means it's impossible to have an alternate choice. And I can see my time.
Okay. Um, you had 51 seconds left on the clock, so we will move on to wisdom songs, 3 minutes. So wisdom, whenever you're ready, we can start your 3 minute opener.
All right, thanks. We can go ahead and start now.
Go ahead.
All right, so does the existence of God constrain human freedom? This is what we're going to talk about tonight. Divine foreknowledge and human freedom do coexist in a way that preserves the integrity of meaningful choice. So tonight I will show you through that foreknowledge is not causation, number one. Number two, freedom is necessary attribute of God's creation. Number three, middle knowledge resolves the apparent tension that AR has brought up. Number four, practical observations that we can see, such as human deliberation and freedom, persist in this theistic framework. The existence of God not only permits human freedom, but it dignifies it and it enhances it. So contention number one, foreknowledge is not causation. One of the most common misconceptions is that God's foreknowledge of events necessitates their occurrence. However, the knowledge of an event is fundamentally different than causing it. If foreknowledge were causative, then human actions would lose meaning. Number two, freedom is a divine gift rooted in God's image. Genesis 1:26. Let us make man in our own image. This foundational scripture establishes humans as a reflection of God's nature. So, because of this, God is the ultimate creator. He exercises sovereign will. So, to mirror God, humans must also possess freedom to choose and create. Without freedom, we are mere automations, incapable of fulfilling the divine mandate to subdue the earth and have dominion. Number two, moral responsibility requires freedom. We see that in Deuteronomy, Ezekiel, and Romans, we are told that our decisions on earth will affect our afterlife. So how would it be fair if God made our actions go a certain way? Clearly, we have choice. We are able to move freely. God's nature as a free and creative being necessitates that humans made in his image also possess real, meaningful freedom. Contention number three, middle knowledge resolves the tension. The concept of middle knowledge provides a framework to understanding the relationship between divine foreknowledge and human freedom. So what is it? Middle knowledge is God's knowledge of all possible outcomes and the choices individuals will freely make in any given circumstance. You can use an analogy of a chess player. That master chess player may know the next move of their opponent, but that foreknowledge is not actually making their opponent move in a certain way. They still have sovereignty over their movements. Contention number 4, practical observations confirm human freedom. So brain scans reveal heightened activity in the prefrontal cortex when decision-making and reasoning is occurring.
Finish your last sentence.
Shoot. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just say in closing here that human freedom is not merely theoretical. It is observable and essential to our lived experience.
Cool. And with that, that concludes the openers. Now, AR, you're going to have a 5-minute cross-examination. Also, we are a little bit behind on time. Would you guys be okay with just doing one round of cross-examination, or do you guys want to do both rounds?
Shorten? No. We need 2 rounds, but can you shorten it to maybe like 3 minutes?
Would that be okay with you, Wisdom Songs?
If we do 2 minutes?
No,
3 minutes cross-examination, but 2 rounds.
Sure.
Okay, so AR, you're going to go first, and you can start anytime you want.
Okay. So, Wisdom, do you agree that freedom of choice entails that we have at least 2 options, with both those options being a non-zero probability?
Yes.
Okay, great. When it comes to God's foreknowledge, does he have 100% certainty of what you're going to choose?
He has 100% certainty of your final choice, so the final outcome, he knows.
The final choice. So he doesn't know any intermediate choices?
That would have been his middle knowledge. So as you're deliberating, God sees your deliberation. He sees you choosing between A and B. And when you finally make your choice, then that is when he knows your choice.
He doesn't know prior?
You are making the choice. So
I'm
as
asking,
you are deliberating,
I'm asking if he knows, does he know prior to you making the choice?
no, God's knowledge is based on what you do. So God's knowledge of your actions are based on your actions. Your actions
Okay.
are not based on God's knowledge.
All right, let me put it this way. What precedes does the action precede the knowledge, or does the knowledge precede the action?
Correct. The
No,
knowledge.
which one? No. That's not a correct statement. I'm asking you. Does his knowledge precede the action, or does the action precede the knowledge?
So God's knowledge is past, present, and future. At the moment of your birth, his knowledge sees you doing in sequential order, and you doing occurs before the knowledge. So at the time that God knows you're going to choose X, you have already chosen X.
I'm asking, does God's knowledge precede your action? Yes or no? Let's start there.
So do you understand that the way God thinks and the way God knows?
You're not answering my question. I'm asking you if God's knowledge precede your action.
Okay, no.
That's a yes or no. That's a yes or no question. That is a yes or no question.
I've answered this. Your actions precede the knowledge.
Okay, so when Jesus told Peter that he will deny him 3 times, did Peter deny him 3 times before Jesus predicted it, or did Jesus predict it before Peter denied him 3 times?
So in the mind of God, Peter had already done this.
Asking you, yes. Okay, great.
God sees these events before they occur. So God would have seen the actions of Peter before they occurred in time space.
Right, exactly.
God would have already seen all of these actions.
Great. So God's knowledge preceded the action, correct?
Okay. The action, God sees the actions in his mind as they are going to occur before they occur in time space.
Time is over. Conclude your last statement.
The actions precede the knowledge.
Okay, again,
that's
right? When we
took the time, we're gonna move on to the opposition's cross-examination. You got 3 minutes. Wisdom, start anytime.
Okay, so do you agree that knowing something will happen is different from causing it to happen?
Knowing something will happen is different from causing it to happen. Correct.
Okay. If foreknowledge inherently causes outcomes, then how do you explain human decision making?
I'm not
Like
talking
the
about
how do you wait, how do you explain observable human decision making?
What do you mean?
So, for example, if someone is doing a brain scan on someone as they're choosing two different things, you will see their brain patterns. You will see that reflect. So,
Yes.
how, if there is no sort of decision making or choice involved, how do you explain that?
What I'm saying is that there's 100% correlation between God's foreknowledge and the action that you take. So it doesn't have to be causation.
But you
But
said,
but
wait,
there's
but you
also but
said
there's
that,
also
but no,
causation
oh, wait,
because
wait, 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 wait. You said that knowing something will happen is different from causing it to happen. You already said that.
correct. I'm saying that it doesn't cause it. It doesn't have to cause it. It could just be 100% correlation. So like for
Right,
example,
right. So if you right, so hold on. So if you know for 100% certainty, say for example, you were given a visionary sight to know for 100% certainty that tomorrow I was going to call in, right? You just happened to see that and you knew 100% certainty.
right.
Does that take away my free will?
It's not about free
Just
will. It's about
because
freedom
you
of
foreseen, just because you
it's not about
foreseen the action?
it's not about free will, it's about freedom of choice.
Freedom of
So,
choice. Does that take away my
right.
freedom of choice? Does that take away my deliberation? Because
If you have
before I
if
wait, hold on. So before I called in, I had two possibilities, and both of those possibilities had a non-zero probability of being chosen. Correct?
No, it's a hundred
Why?
percent probability. It's 100% probability. If I foresaw 100% chance that you will do A, option A, for example, which is calling, right? That means you will 100% do that, and you have a 0% chance of doing option B. That's literally 100% certainty. You don't
Okay,
have another option.
I don't think you understand how choice works.
I don't
So
think you
before
understand how
so
choice
wait, wait,
works.
so before the decision is made, right?
Right.
So before I make the decision, and
Correct.
I have two choices in front of me, are they both non-zero probabilities?
No. One of them is going to be a
Why?
0%. One of them is going to be a 0% probability because there's 100% certainty that you will do one of those choices if you have 100% foreknowledge, 100% accurate foreknowledge.
So how is foreknowledge a symmetry breaker in choice?
Because if you have 100% chance of doing something, that is ultimately saying that you have a 0% chance
But you
of
don't
doing
have a
the
Okay,
hundred.
finish up
Wait,
your
alternative.
last
stop.
sentence.
You don't have 100% chance of doing something. You have two options that you are going to deliberate on, and at the end of the day, you are going to choose one of those options. But you had
Okay.
a choice leading up to choosing that option.
Okay,
Right.
that concludes the cross examination. AR, it's going to be your turn again to start your three
Okay, great.
minutes.
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? If you have a bag of just blue marbles in the bag, right? What are the chances of you picking out a red marble?
Wait, say that one more time.
If you have a bag of blue marbles, what are the chances of you picking out a red one?
And you have no red marbles.
No, just blue marbles.
So if you have no red marbles, then you're
Yeah,
going to choose a blue marble.
right. What are the
So you
chances of
only
you pick?
have one choice.
What
That because
percent?
you only
Oh, okay. So what are the chances of you picking a red marble?
if you only have blue
What?
marbles, you cannot choose a red marble.
Right. What's the number percent chance of picking a red marble? What's the number percent? I want the number.
You would have there's zero red
Zero
marbles, so
percent.
you would have
Great.
a 0% chance.
Great. So if I foresee that you're going to choose a blue marble, meaning that you have 100% chance, if I foresee that you have 100% chance of you choosing a blue marble, that means you have no other choice, correct?
Because there is only one choice given. In your
Great.
scenario, there is
Great.
one choice given.
Great. The same thing goes for anytime you have a 0% chance of choosing something, that means it's impossible to choose it, correct?
This is not parallel to this
No,
to
I'm asking
having
you. I'm
two.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that if you have a 0% chance of choosing something, it's impossible to choose it, correct?
Yeah, if you have 0 red marbles, you're clearly not going to choose a red
Okay,
marble.
great.
I
So
mean,
now,
that's clear.
right, great. So if God foresees, so if Jesus, let's say Jesus, a human, a manifestation of God, if he foresees that Peter is going to deny him 3 times, what are the chances that he won't deny him 3 times?
Okay. I
What
don't think
I
that
just want a
you
number.
have,
I just want a number
I
percent
don't
chance.
think
I
that
just want
you,
a
I
number.
don't think
Hold up,
that
hold up.
you,
I want a number percent chance, please. I just want a number percent chance.
I don't
A
think
number
that you're,
percent. Hold up. What's the number percent chance, please?
so
Number.
before,
I want a number. I just want a number, please. I just want a number.
before
I just
Peter,
want. Please hold on, wisdom. I just want a
before
number.
Peter,
Wisdom. I just want a number. I just want a number.
before
I
Peter,
want
so
a number. I want a number. I just
bro,
want a number. Give me a
are you
number.
talking about before Peter made the choice or after he made the
Before it
choice?
doesn't matter. It doesn't. Hold on. It
Okay,
doesn't
so
matter. It's gonna
before,
be zero
okay, so
regardless.
then before, okay, so before Peter made the choice, then we could say he had a 50-50%
What?
probability.
So hold on.
After
So
he made
okay,
the
wisdom,
choice,
wisdom. So
then the
okay,
choice was
wait,
made.
wait, 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 wisdom. So if Jesus predicted that Peter would deny him 3 times, you're saying there's a 50% chance that he won't deny him 3 times after Jesus said that he will deny him 3 times? There's a
And
possibility that he won't deny him 3 times?
time's up. Answer that question, wisdom, and then we'll move on to your cross examination.
Again, after
No, no.
Peter made,
It's a
he,
yes or no. It's a yes or no.
Yes or no, and then we move on.
no, I don't,
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay,
There
that's
is
it.
no
That's it.
way.
We're cutting it off. We're cutting it off. Wisdom, it's your 3 minute cross examination. You can start at any time.
all right, so, my friend, do you understand what middle knowledge is?
I understand what middle knowledge is, but
What is
obviously
middle
God doesn't.
knowledge? No, what is
Obviously,
middle
God doesn't.
knowledge? What is middle knowledge?
Middle knowledge means that there is some gap in the knowledge, which isn't aligned with
No,
omniscience.
middle knowledge is not a gap in the knowledge.
It would
Middle
be.
knowledge is God's knowledge of all possible outcomes. Do you agree?
I don't agree. He actually knows the actualizations as well.
Okay, so okay, all right.
He's
So
omniscient.
you are with all due respect to you're an atheist. So
Great.
middle knowledge is God's knowledge of all
Hmm.
possible outcomes and the
Right.
choices individuals will freely make given their
No,
circumstances.
no. He
Yes.
knows.
Yeah, AR. I understand that you think that you have an argument against God. But the truth is you do not understand the knowledge of God and you don't understand the operation, okay? So, to help you,
Right.
if God has middle knowledge and can see the deliberation of a human and can see the choices that they are making and then knows the final outcome, does this take away their freedom of choice?
It does. I'm going to
How?
explain what because I'm going to explain. Like you're saying middle knowledge as if he doesn't know the actualizations. He knows the actualized choice as well. Yes or no?
He knows the actualized choice that the person makes. Yes. So he
Exactly. So
also
that means
knows the
ultimately.
deliberate. Wait, hold on, AR. Because you define freedom of choice as having more than one option with a non-zero probability, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay,
Well,
now wait a
so
minute,
what
AR.
chance?
Wait, no, I'm claiming my stop. So you define choice as having two options with a non-zero probability. Now, when you take a case, God sees that I am either going to choose chocolate or choose vanilla. God sees the deliberation process. During the deliberation process, I have two choices.
You do not.
Both of those, I do. I have chocolate and vanilla. Both
Not
of
if he
those,
already knows what you're going to choose. You're going to choose
bro.
whatever God already knows what you're
I
going to
don't.
choose.
You're not tracking.
No, you're not tracking. There's a
No,
hundred
you're
percent
not
chance. There's
tracking.
100%. There is no possible.
Is
Let me.
there a difference between? No, hold on. Is there a difference between the way you know things and the way God knows things?
Of course,
Okay, what is the difference between the way you know things and the way that God knows things?
because God has perfect foreknowledge.
Okay, so do you think that God knows things past, present, and future simultaneously, or
Yes.
how do you think? Okay, so if God knows things past, present, and future simultaneously, then do you think God can see the actions a human will
Okay,
take
finish it up.
before
Guess
they
you need your
take
time.
them?
This doesn't refute my argument. The point
No,
is
hold on.
that
Can you answer this question? Do you think that God can see the choices and the deliberation of a human before they do it?
Okay,
yes,
that's gonna be a yes or no. I answer that question, and we'll move on to the
yes,
conclusions.
yes.
Okay.
That's it. That concludes it. So we're moving on to conclusions. AR, you're the affirmative, so you're going to start your 2 minute conclusion anytime. Just say yes.
Say it again. Oh, my conclusion. All right. So my point is that God limits your freedom of choice. God limits your freedom of choice in two ways. One, his omnipotence and his omniscience. Okay? He has perfect foreknowledge and he creates, he sets the dominoes up, right? He's the one that's creating everything moving forward. So, for example, if he's the one that's making the initial choice, which is the creation of the universe, everything that follows it is exactly how he foresaw it. And there's no way to escape that. That's for one. Secondly, he hardens the heart of Pharaoh, for example. That's another way he limited his freedom of choice. Yes, the Pharaoh has hardened his own heart prior. Doesn't take away from the fact that the Pharaoh's heart was also then hardened by God himself. That also limits your freedom of choice. That is a limitation. Okay? So that's wrong right then and there. That's already limiting your freedom of choice. That's not even including the fact that he created you, and then not only did he create you, he already knew what you were going to do before he created you. All of that is already a script that you're following. He set up the trail. He set up the train tracks, and you're just following that script. There is no room to turn from that track. You can't do otherwise. Everything that you do is in alignment with God's perfect foreknowledge, right? If it is the case that we have freedom of choice, that means that you, even though God has foreseen that you chose A, for example, that means there is a possible world where you can choose B, even though God has foreseen you choose A. And if that's the case, that means that God no longer has perfect foreknowledge because he has a chance of being fallible. I can see my time.
Okay, you're conceding with 7 seconds left on the clock. Wisdom, it's now your time to do your conclusion. You can start anytime.
Okay, so I would like to remind everybody of AR's definition of freedom of choice, which was having two options with a non-zero probability. Okay, so let's take a look at what was said. AR has already conceded that God sees past, present, and future all at one time. AR also conceded that God can see the deliberation process of a human being. So, if God has knowledge that is past, present, and future, then that means he sees every single action that a human being will freely take in their lifetime. This is how Christ was able to tell Peter, I know you will deny me. This is why Christ was able to tell Judas, I know you will deny me. This is why. Because he sees every single action before we even take them. AR failed to answer if on a brain scan, and this is real world data, if on a brain scan we can see the deliberation process as it occurs in a human, then how is God limiting choice? We can quite frankly see choice on brain scans and through brain patterns. Also, AR failed to touch on the points that if there is no freedom of choice, then God would not be able to hold us morally accountable. However, in multiple scriptures, we are told that it is our choice and our life choices that will either determine whether we are counted as the righteous or as the wicked. So if we go back to his definition of freedom of choice being the ability to have two options with a non-zero probability, that simply means you have two choices that could occur. Even
Okay,
if
finish up
one
your last
choice
sentence.
even if one choice is less likely, it is still an option. And he has not proven that God limits that choice.
Okay, that will be the conclusion of your final statement. That was a really good debate. We appreciate both of you guys.
Amazing.
That concludes the debate between AR and Wisdom Songs. The audience is voting. The clipboard is right above my box. Everyone go vote on the clipboard and decide who you think won the debate. But with that, we are in a time crunch, so we do have to quickly move to Jay versus J Rob. If
I want to say thank you for Wisdom.
Wait, how do I?
I appreciate you guys. Like, really.
Yep.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Any words? Any words you want to say, OG Kylo?
Yeah, that was a good debate. I want to go back, rewatch it. There were some good points being made on both ends. I gotta hash that out with a review, but that was a good discussion.
Okay. And we are waiting for Jay and J Rob to show up. So while we're waiting for that, everyone please like the live